Hi folks, I'm Wes Osborne from Critter Done, and this is my dear old friend Orin from Bonnie Hunter Guide Service. We've worked for long and hard together, had a lot of fun, and we've devised a trap that we feel it's time to let out to the American public. This trap has proved to be a great trap. We finally got it through the process of patenting and everything, and here we are today to show you a trap that we feel may change bear trapping as you know it. This trap is designed to simplify and be productive on the trap line when you're trapping bears. I'm going to have Orin show you how we got to dig a hole here, and we want to show you how this trap works and how we set it, and go from step A to step Z to show you just about how this works. This trap is made out of steel. They are serial numbered, and they're very effective. They're designed to be buried in the ground. They're approximately 18 inches in length and set to get a bear to reach in, pull a bait, and be caught with a foot snare on its arm. The name of the trap is a bear foot snare delivery system, and it's made by Critter Done. And Orin with Bounty Hunter Guide Service would be glad to have you take a look at this with him. Orin, what do you say we dig a hole and show these guys how this thing goes in the ground?
Yep. Well, a little bit about the trap. The trap measurements and stuff. You know, you have a 6-inch opening. We designed it to eliminate any
non-target.
Non-target animals getting in it. It's approximately 18 inches high. Has a 6-inch opening. That's going to keep most anything out of there except for a bear. When we do set it, we set it underneath the barrel so that an animal has to tip the barrel over in order to get into the trap to begin with.
It'll be buried and it'll be covered with a barrel. And
it'll be at or below ground level. So pretty much you've got to have a bear come in to get into this trap. It's got a spring-loaded snare that goes around the opening.
Very simply placed on.
And Wes, you can show them kind of.
Yeah, you can power it up a little bit if you'd like. When this will be underground, and we'll demonstrate that. When the bear reaches in and pulls the bait, he's caught.
It's as simple as it gets, and it works great.
The delivery system stays in the ground. The bear is with this. So the bear is caught humanely here, right on the arm, not hurting any way. As you can see, you can take it off. That would give you the choice of, if you're doing animal damage control and you need to relocate a bear, you could dart it and do so with that. If you're on a bear trapping trip and you're going to harvest the bear, obviously you would deal with it in that manner. So.
Right. On the cable, you put a stop at a 2.5-inch minimum loop size. And that also helps non-target animals, if you happen to get one.
Yeah, it would let them escape.
Right.
And that may change it depending on what you're doing and what state or what laws you're applied to. And in this case with our trap, we're very careful with that. You gotta, your state and whatever you're doing has to allow it. That would be up to the individuals and the state approval on everything. You'd want to abide by your state law. We'll show you some.
Maybe you can explain to them what we're doing with this here.
Right. Yeah, we also have an anchoring system with this trap while Orin's working on this hole here. These are provided with the trap. They come with two. We feel that this anchoring system is beneficial when you put it on the trap and you're going into the hole. It stabilizes the trap, makes it solid, and it also would maybe help prevent it for thieves, that maybe the person that might want to walk off with your trap. It comes with a removable handle, and once it's placed in, we'll show you how that easily comes off. It can go from either side, or the anchors can go on either side. Like I say, it comes with two. It also comes with a bait bag, such as you would tie in the bottom on the canister. There is a little rack in the bottom. You would tie that on the bottom. This is a 7/16 inch wrench, and this 7/16 inch wrench would take off these bolts and put this rubber seal on the bottom of it. That would prevent it, if you were setting it in a wet area, it would prevent it from the water coming up into the trap. We found in some of the past experiences, you live and learn. This was one of our things with the product. We decided if you have water coming up and you were dealing with cold weather, you may deal with the freeze. That bottom is optional. You can leave it on or take it off. It doesn't always have to be at the same thing there. I will show you the anchoring way. There's many ways. Orin made it look pretty easy here today with his brute strength with the shovel. Some days that doesn't go as easy, and I know most trappers will say, boy, not all ground is that. We have a Critter Done also has a pounding bar. You can get these from your trapper supply house or call us on that. But to drive that anchor in, sometimes we use a hammer, other times we use a hammer drill. You can place this anchoring system in the ground as such, and I'll demonstrate since it's above ground, so you don't have to see down in the hole. You may not be able to see this, but this anchoring system, this is just a regular ground rod driver, and you can put that anchor in as simple as pulling the trigger, and it'll anchor your trap where you need it down in the ground. That being said, once you have your anchored trap, it's in the ground solid. You don't have to worry about, and you'd have to obviously pull this out and take your anchor, give it a pull out of the ground afterwards. But I'll lay those down, and that's not really the anchoring part is not the key to the success with this, but it can and will be used in a lot of cases. We're not going to try to take this trap into infinity this morning, only because we'd like, for the video purposes, be able to let you see how the action of this trap works.
What you do to get it started is you take one of these and you hook it on the anchor loops here, and get that driver set.
Go to the side there.
Yep.
You happy there?
No, that looks good.
And you put that driver on there and you anchor toward the side. Tight.
Yep.
Remove your ground rod driver, pull, and your trap is anchored nice and tight. And that stability, and we provide two, there's room for four. One might do you. Some situations, like every trap set you're bowling, you might need two. But I would say that an anchor is a very good idea for a lot of reasons. And
you definitely want to anchor them. You know, even after the bear gets in there, you don't want him reaching in and pulling it up and rolling the trap around or anything. This keeps it in the ground the whole time.
If you don't have this hammer drill, you can use a pounder. You can use your regular hatchet. We did this we found out that just over time, and us old guys, we need something a little easier to get it in the ground.
But once you got it set in there, you just kind of backfill around your trap. We'll just put this in there loosely.
I'm not going to say you shouldn't be wearing rubber gloves, but that's up to the individual. Each trapper has his style and what he's doing. Today, for demo purposes, we have a set here, but we're trying to just show you the trap and how it functions.
So when you get it in the ground and you get it set, by law, the snare has to be at or below ground level. So you need to have your
in the state of Maine, yeah.
Yep. Your snare at or below ground level. And there you can see it is.
And again, we're leaving this trap just a little high today, just because of demo purposes, so you can see the function of it.
Ultimately, what you'd want is you'd want this down probably another 3 inches or so it appears as though there's a hole in there. And what you'd do to get it going is you'd fill this tube up with bait. Whatever you use for bait, you'd fill it up to where the bear can see it when he tips the trap over, or the barrel over. And he's going to, obviously, there'll be nothing in the barrel. The bait will be removed from the barrel, and the tube will be full. So he sees that bait and starts eating. Well, he can only get down in about that far, and then he's going to start reaching and pulling it out. And he'll eventually get down low enough to where he can set the trap.
And tie off it, and I see he's headed for this. There's many ways. We have here a chain with a lock. You can tie your snare off. We do recommend, and they provide with some of the different people provide swivels. You can get them from a Tractor Supply store, but a swivel on there is something that I think in most places is required, and, and if you had two, that's not too many. But you can always want to put some kind of a swivel on your snare and or your loop.
So you'd have that around your tree back there. You don't want, what you don't want to do is if you're going around a tree, you don't want to have that go tight. You don't want to have a tight loop where that bear's he can get wound up and keep cranking it around and eventually get it wound down tight. When you put him to the tree, you want to have a long loop or a good loop where he can go around and it freely. It doesn't bind up. He can move around and around all night long, and you're not going to get any twists or anything in your cable.
That tree's not big enough. You know, obviously we're referring to a tree of bigger size than the low. We're using that as a sample spot. But also, I mean, some guys do put these snares on drags. We have a drag behind Orin there. You know, you could tie it on a drag as well. If you're wanting to maybe make life a little more exciting, you could go with something like this and put your bear snare on a drag. Again, I think I'd advise a little more caution with something like that.
And this here you attach like this. You got a double swivel here, and that allows the bear to turn. If this gets any twist in there, you can turn that way too. So he's definitely not going to get it all tangled up, and there's a lot of room to go around a tree.
Might want to touch on some secrets. I've had guys concerned with the snare. What if? And remember, we are covering this can with a 55-gallon or probably 35-gallon minimal a barrel that has to be knocked over, and you can even put weight on that barrel to alleviate any and all other catches non-target animals, because again, this trap was designed for non-target catches. We want bears, and that's a bear.
Bear only. This is for bear and nothing else, and that's what it catches.
Yep, and that's what it's designed for.
Once you have it set, you have a regular cable clamp here, and you just put that above the nut on the spring. Just get it right on there. So
two little nuts on a cable clamp for adjustment, and that spring, you can power it up as far down as you like. It can go all full power and be tight. You can come down 8 or 10 inches, whatever you feel. Probably the more snap you get, the better, but it will fire without powering the spring whatsoever. But
it makes it a lot faster, and it sets up on the bear quicker. You want to snug that right down. We're just going to leave it for now.
So you got your trap tied off to a tree. You got your thing there. The snare is placed on there. Obviously, we've dug the hole now. We're past that point. But now you're going to put your bait in, like Orin says, up to the top, I guess, there. And now you're going to have your barrel. Do we want to talk about anything with covering that?
What you do is you take the barrel and set it over here and get an imprint in the ground. This you can dig down a little bit and put it like under the ground some, but get an imprint of your barrel on there.
Like a track.
Right. And then what we like to do is just dig down a little bit.
This is going to seat your barrel down in the ground and give it the chipmunks and squirrel a run for their money, as well as seating that barrel and making it keep any non-targets out there.
An animal that tries to dig underneath the barrel, now he's got to go down and up over. That eliminates him getting at any part of the snare or the trap once it's set. So you can set that on there. And then we just kind of like backfill around it and pat it on down in. And then if they do dig, they got to dig down in and up around to get anything, and it just ain't going to happen.
This can be added.
And you can see That's stable. There ain't nothing gonna knock that over but a bear. You can get raccoons climbing on it. You can get fish running around. You can get anything you want around here, and it ain't gonna be able to knock that barrel over or dig under. So when you leave the trap, it's set for bear.
Right. Yep, it's set for bear. You're not going to be getting on targets, which seems to be a big concern of ours as well as anyone else's. You're trapping bears. You want a bear. We've created that scenario here for you.
We've used a lot of other traps, and I mean the trails coming in, and there's other kinds of traps out there, and the non-target, the raccoons come through and they fire your trap off or they dig. You get a lot of problems. With this, the problems are eliminated. There's no problems. It's a done deal. So what happens is the bear comes in, pushes the barrel over. Now he's got the pile of bait in the tube exposed.
He's been used to pushing that barrel over, and he's been used to eating out of that barrel at a bait site, and so it's not uncommon. The only thing new to him is some of the bait's falling out of the bottom, and it's in the delivery system here.
There's nothing in here, so he may roll this around a little bit, but he's going to go to the delivery system, and he's going to start feeding out of that. Well, a bear's only going to get down to about so far before he can't get any further, and he'll start using his paw. He'll start pulling it up, and pulling it up, pulling it up. Well, soon enough, we'll loosen this up a little.
That's all right. You don't have to.
You got a long shirt. Soon enough, he's going to reach down in there.
When he gets to the bottom for his last bite, when he gives this a pull,
he's on.
He's on. Game over. As simple as that.
The cuff slides up and pushes the snare off, and this remains in the ground, and you got the bear by the snare.
Got the bear by the snare. And it seems to eliminate a lot of our problems with misses. It's eliminated all non-targets. It's been what we can teach you is probably one of the best things that Orin and I have come up with over the last since we lost our steel trap, and probably before that.
Yeah.
So I guess to see it work, you've just seen how it works, and the simplicity of resetting this trap is as simple as going back in, placing it back onto the top of your vise, push your thing back, and we're back in business. Put the bait, but we really don't have to reset this trap.
Actually, yeah, the bears they get caught first time in.
Yeah, it's not a reset deal unless you have a couple trappers and you have a couple bears on a site, and then you could go back at it if you're got a couple good bears coming in, and I believe multiple catches would be very similar. One nice thing is the snare's tied off. This device, once the bear is captured by snare, this device is sitting right where you left it. He's going to be over there with this. So,
and as well as that's made, I mean that thing will last you for a lifetime. There's no need for another bear trap. Once you get one of them, you're good.
Pass
good
it down to the grandchildren.
Yeah, you can give it to kids. Use it. Your friend can use it.
As far as the snares, we all know they're a replaceable item, and you can get them from most any place. I know I have a couple distributors for this trap. Of course, you can call us at Critter Done and have one of these traps. We'll mail it out to you. It might involve a little freight, or you can catch us at one of the shows. Maybe we could just cut your freight out there. We have Steve Rankin out of
Lexington,
Maine. He's one of the distributors of this trap. And as well a Newt Sterling from Snare 1, and either of those suppliers would be able to get you a trap and or get you a snare or extra snares for them. I wouldn't probably go on a trip with one, maybe have an extra backup in case something would go wrong with your foot snare. If you have use and you're nervous about doing this on your own and you need a little hand and you say, well, I'd love to do that, just not sure I could tackle that myself. You want to get with a good outfitter guide, you could get a hold of Orin. He's in New Portland, Maine. He's been doing it how many hundreds of years?
Feels like it.
And
I've been doing it over 20 years, and we got 45 square miles leased out for bear hunts, and we run about 100 bear baits. Plenty of bears up here, and real high success with this system here.
We're hoping that this system is accepted with everyone as we have, and I think you'll find that this may be part of the future of bear bear snaring as we know it. We've worked hard to go in compliance with all the laws. We've worked hard to get in compliance with every aspect, from views from the non-trapper to the trapper of today. And everybody has their opinion, and what we do is what we've done here. We're professional, go by the law, and try to make sure that everything's done right. And again, if you captured a bear in here, maybe a little bear, I suppose we could let a little bear go. We've done it before.
Yeah, we've let him go.
You get a little bear in there, he's not the end of the world.
Also, with the stop on the snare, I mean, if you don't want a small bear, if you know there's a big bear on the bait that you're going after, you can just make the loop bigger than 2.5 inches, and anything small will get out.
3¼ inches.
Whatever you want for a bear, it's whatever you want you can get, and anything else will just pull out of it.
Yep. And I think once you experience the trap and see what it is, like he said, you could buy one for everybody, or you could buy one and pass it around. It's not that part of the aspect's not going to go away. You have to have extra snares, obviously, but no matter what type of snaring device, the snare is a non-usable thing after a bear capture anyway. So that's beside the point. And they come in also, just to note, we have carrying bags for them as well as that, and they can carry them like that, but you do not have to get involved with buying carrying bags. They come with a handle. They come with the snare. The whole kit comes as one shot. This here goes on the handle to carry it like this. You can buy the carrying bag. They come with a complete kit that has the snare, the anchor systems, the stop, the bait bag, the zip ties to tie your bait on, and an instruction on how to use. So I don't think it would be hard for you to get out there and give it a try. So hopefully we've set that for you folks, and everybody can enjoy some bear trapping at its finest.
For your traps, call
Critter Done. I'm in Pulaski, Pennsylvania. My phone number 724-730-3444. And if you talk to me or my wife Barb, we'll be glad to help you.
For your trapping trips, call me.
Yeah, give Orin a call.
Bounty Hunter Guide Service, 207-628-6660.